And because we have not listened to our elders, we have not listened to our writers, you are never going to be free, and you dare not call yourself nation until you can preserve and manage the wealth-producing resources of the nations of Africa and unify African people across all geography and all cultural boundaries. For a people to be free, they must produce one sacrificial generation, and that's the foundation for all generations to come. We have not put that sacrificial generation ahead. We had the greatest opportunity from 1954 with the emergence of Ghana. In the 2 decades that followed, we had an opportunity to pull African people together and unify them, not to conquer other people's country, but to claim that which belonged to them. We threw it away with nonsense, arguing over nothing. So what do you think we have lived for? We have the right to come and scold you. You've wasted our precious life.
Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
I maintain that our crisis all over the world is because we have neglected to listen to our finest messengers. We have neglected to listen to the African message of the 19th century, when African elders realized that chattel slavery was being turned into a colonial system, another form of slavery. And when, instead of negotiating and selling themselves for European trinkets, they went to the battlefield and fought Europe for 100 years. In Africa itself, agitation for independence, revolts after revolts. In the Caribbean islands, the fight for constitutional government. In the United States, the fight for equal human beingness, the fight to build institutions. In South Africa, we have not heard great elders like Matthews, who's supposed to be a conservative, and said that for a people to be free, they must produce one sacrificial generation, and that's the foundation for all generations to come. We have not put that sacrificial generation ahead. We have a whole lot of ceremony and no substance. And if you understand what I'm talking about, you would understand that we are into another trick bag, thinking the faker in South Africa was an election. You cannot have an election and become free when a foreigner owns 87% of your land, all of the wealth-producing resources, control the entry and the exit to your land, and you say you are free? You say you are free when you have to call a foreigner back to cure your child's stomach ache? When you get back what slavery and colonialism took away from you is a container called nation. And when you shout nation time, you have to remember, have someone prepared to rule every aspect of that nation, from the proper sweeping of the street to the presidency, to the negotiation of treaties, to the management of harbors, to the curing of your child's stomachache, to the making of the locomotive that takes the food across your country, to making the safety pin to hold your child's diaper together. If you haven't done that, you're lying through your teeth about understanding nation. And what we have lost, not listening to our elders, is the concept of nation. We have not listened to the night. What do you think David Walker was telling you? Generations grow up and not read David Walker's appeal. What do you think Clement Kadele was trying to say in the South African trade union movement? What do you think Kapalo Kagwa was trying to say in Uganda? And what do you think Martin Delaney was trying to say to you? We have not listened to our elders. We made a ceremony out of eldership. But if you made a ceremony out of eldership, why is it that Chancellor William died in almost a charity nursing home? You think this fakery you call Christianity is a religion. It's a political instrument concocted at the conference at Nicaea to rationalize European domination of the world, including the domination over your mind. Now, if you listen to John Jackson, have you listened to Elder, you would understand that had you read Dr. Ben's books on the African origin of the three major religions, you would know that already. No one could fake you on religion had you read the religious literature written by your elders. I'm saying that I'm here to scold you for neglecting your elders. You have not read Chancellor Williams. You've not read him well. You possess his books, but you don't read his books. If you had read his books, The Destruction of Black Civilization, just read that third chapter. Egypt, Ethiopia's oldest daughter. You wouldn't be debating with anybody about whether Egypt was black or white. Even if you read a book by a white, Gerald Massey, you wouldn't be debating that. And if you read Dr. Ben's Black Man of the Nile and His Family, you wouldn't get into no debate of what either was black or white. You sure will think Europe created it, because if you know the chronology of history, you know there was no Europe at the time. Why haven't not we listened? Why haven't we talk about Garveyism? We haven't even read Garvey's African fundamentalism. We had the greatest opportunity from 1954 with the emergence of Ghana. In the 2 decades that followed, we had an opportunity to pull African people together and unify them, not to conquer other people's country, but to claim that which belongs to them. We threw it away with nonsense, arguing over nothing. Malcolm X was killed right in front of our eyes. We betrayed the promise of our great elders. Chancellor Williams laid out a plan for our world re-emergence in 2 books, The Rebirth of African Civilization and The Destruction of African Civilization. Most of you hadn't even read it. Your people, won't somebody give us a book, give us an idea, give us a program? God damn it, people been giving you a program for 200 years. You haven't even paid them the respect of even reading it. So what do you think we have lived for? We have the right to come and scold you. You've wasted our precious life by not making the best use of what we could have done. I have said before, I never met a rich man that had a better mind than me. So if I wanted to be rich, I could have been rich. Dr. Ben could have been a high-paid engineer or something else if he wanted to be. He could have gone down the Cadillac route. He ain't rich. What do you think he lived on short rations and unpaid lecture fees sometime to get a message across to you? Our life has been a love affair. And if we are angry because we don't like the way you've appreciated our love. We didn't ask you to give us any Rolls Royce. We don't need no damn stretch limousines. We don't need no $500 suits. We ask for the basic things in life. A little space to do our writing. Decent food, a doctor when we need it. We don't need a string of women. One at a time is enough. We're reasonable. Now back to Sheikh de Diop. Sheikh de Diop, for all of what we can criticize him for, placed in proper focus the world dimensions of African history in his books, African Origins of Civilization, Myth of Reality, and in his last magnum opus, African Civilization of Barbarism. And in his work, Africa, the Politics of a Federated State, he laid out a plan for preserving the history of Africa, and preserving the resources for African people. You are never going to be free, and you dare not call yourself nation until you can preserve and manage the wealth-producing resources of the nations of Africa and unify African people across all geography and all cultural boundaries. We must stop this nonsense about arguing about whether slave ships put us down. The common denominators where the slave ship took us from. Who gives a damn who's from the Caribbean island, who's from Georgia, and who's from Alabama, and who's from Africa? A white bigot could care less. If you got a black face, he hates all of you. Malcolm X tried to tell you this. He tried to deal with the land question in his message to the grassroots. John Jackson tried to tell you, he didn't tell you to leave Christianity. He tell you the one that's been foisted on you is a fake. He said, conceptualize it and use it for your own self. It's an old story, retold and resold to you. He's telling you to study the North African church. Christianity entered Europe directly from the North African church, and it returned to Africa after the conference in Nicaea, a crippled African child being sold to Africa as something perfect. And because we have not listened to our elders, we have not listened to our writers, we get hung up with myths and suppositions and children come to you, give me a program, tell me the book to read. There is no the book on any subject in the world. There are several books that will get you started to reading the subject. I've known to read 10 books just to give a lecture and 20 to give a course. Let me see if I can finalize what I'm trying to say to you. You had the greatest opportunity of any people in history. You did not take the best, did not make the best use of it. You could have unified Africa. The African in the West, with his knowledge of basic technology, could have industrialized Africa. He could have militarized Africa. The African has always been hospitable to strangers, the wrong strangers. No one has come into Africa to do African people any good. Africa is now the milk cow, not only of the Western world, but the Arabs in the Eastern world also. Black people join a religion and declare war on other black people for raising a question. And if you understood the nature of religion as the imperial arm of conquerors, all of them, no exception, include the Hindu faith, include all of them, all brought into countries by foreigners and fakers and fools. You think I'm against God? No. I want to remove the garbage and the debris so you can see the real face of God and feel the God inside of yourself and the strength inside of yourself. I'm saying turn to yourself and your finest messages before it is too late. Don't tell me you are a Garveyite if you haven't read Garvey's African Fundamentalism. Don't tell me you're a fan of Dr. Ben if you haven't read Black Man of the Nile, his books on African religions, and another neglected word. It should be read and reread. Black theologians without a black theology. Don't express your admiration for him when I have seen none of his books in your hand, and when you talk, none of the knowledge he put in the books is reflected in your mind. Your friendship is as worthless as thin air if you hadn't paid him that tribute. You didn't get to know John Jackson. You've been richer for it. When you read Sheikh Anta, The Depth in Perception, read his fine essay, African Contribution to Civilization, the Exact Sciences. Read it to your children when they say mathematics is hard. Tell them, look, boy, we invented it. It must have been hard for those Africans who put up the pyramids and all those temples, because they didn't have algebra and all those things around. They didn't have it by name. They probably had to have it. Just didn't have it under that name. But it's been hard for them too. Less difficult with you with all your computers, and I don't accept no excuse from you. We have not given our youth great expectations because we have not accepted great expectations within ourselves. You think because I have come here tonight getting old and terribly angry that I do not hold you dear. There are many roads I could have walked down other than to devote my entire life to African liberation, to research, and to proving it, and causes. If you did not mean that much to me, if you wasn't part of the totality of what I call my family in the world, I could have gone down another route instead of doing this. And I have asked for no great riches, having done so. Ask you to appreciate yourself and look at your great potential. Stop accepting the word minority, for you were never a minority. That's what that conference is about in Egypt. toning you down. That's part of what AIDS is about. You can debate that yourself. I've had my debate. But I want to say in the final analysis that people who made a mission out of trying to preserve your history, your culture, your politics, and moving some of the rocks out of the past so that another generation can walk smoothly, need some consideration. We need to look at Booker Washington again, see what he said that we could use. And remember, he shuffled so we wouldn't have to shuffle. He said yes, so that another generation could say, hell no. The best way a man can tell a people that you are my family, you're the thing dearest to me, you're part of my commitment, you're part of the thing I love better than anything in all the world, is to commit his life in a struggle for their betterment. I have not done it as well as I wanted to do, but I have done it the best way I could, given my circumstances. And when I leave you, that's all I can leave you. Thank you.
Now, that sums it up for this video. Did you like or do you hate what you just watched? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I encourage having a proper discussion on matters like this without having me impose my opinions and ideas on this matter. Otherwise, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That's the only way YouTube can know this video is so much interesting and share it out there to more avid viewers just like you. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you also have not done so, and click the notification bell so as to be notified as soon as I make new uploads on videos just like this. My name is Louis. Until next time, peace out.